Hello, friends. This is John Klein III with episode 24 of Shout on a Flame with Magic the Podcast. And we're going to be reviewing Avengers Academy issue 38. Okay. Had some urgency in my voice as I was my tablet. Francisco, thanks again for providing the theme song to the podcast. The tablet I use, a little behind the scenes, was going to die on me any second. And then joining me for our final comic for Ant-Man month is Walker D. Worrell himself.
Yay.
And we are going to review Avengers Academy 38. At last, the spectacular 38th issue of Avengers Academy, guest starring Wolverine the X-Men, Academy versus X-Kids, and a flag football game at the command of X-23. And the cover is of is a homage cover to X-Men Uncanny X-Men 100. It for Academy X, it has Giant Man, Finis, their version of Glob Herman, Mattel, Hazmat, then X-23 in the middle, and then on the Wolverine the X-Men side, it's Wolverine, Brew, Quentin Quire, and Rockslide. I don't even know if Brew's even in this comic. Avengers Academy 38 came out in December 2012. Inside cover is an ad for Rick Riordan's novel, The Red Pyramid, the graphic novel, adopted by Orpheus Collar. So that's interesting. Okay, Avengers Academy. And thankfully, this is a comic that came out in 2012, so we get a little recap page, which is very handy. And there came a day like any other, when Earth's mightiest heroes opened their doors to teach the next generation. On that day, the Avengers Academy was born to train young adults to fight the foes no single superhero could withstand, which is a fun take on the Avengers origin. Avengers Academy. When industrious Jeremy Briggs attempted to depower the world's superhuman population, the former Avengers Academy students banded together to stop him. After choosing to give up their abilities, all but Vale made the ultimate sacrifice to reclaim their powers in order to defeat their foe. In the ensuing battle, Finis mortally wounded Briggs using an unconscious X-23's claws, just like Polaris did. And X-23 hates it when people turn her into a weapon. Then, rather than biting his wounds to save him, Finesse showed her true colors by letting Briggs bleed out and allow X-23 to take the blame for his death. In the aftermath of the battle, the staff realized that the students needed a break from their normal training. And then we get the characters with a little power description. So there's Finesse. Ugh, why can I not say Finesse? Oof. Photographic fighter, all head, no heart. Hazmat, human toxic spill, caustic personality. Light speed, able to fly, looking to be more grounded. Mattel, steel-skinned powerhouse, armored shell, protecting inner feelings. I like how there's a power and then a personality trait. Reptile, yeah. If my phone will black out and Walker was just pointing to letting me know it, so I appreciate that.
Yep.
Striker, electric dynamo, self-promotes through shock tactics. Veil, variable gas generator, unseen potential until she discorporates. Powered by White Tiger, powered by Mystic Amulet, fueled by family pride. X-23, who I guess was doing the classic Wolverine thing of being on Avengers Academy and in the Wolverine the X-Men book. Female clone of Wolverine searching for her own identity. Hawkeye, cannot miss, now aiming at teaching. Jocasta, synthetic being loyal to Giant Man or Ultron. What? Quicksilver, surely speedster. Tigra, Catwoman, enhanced strength, agility, and attitude. And Giant Man, size-changing scientist supreme. Anything?
I have a plan.
Yeah.
How about we both read the page? I read the page, you read the page.
Okay, we could do that. Or maybe we can just go back and forth on some dialogue moments.
Yeah.
Because some of this I'm just going to... Well, no, we could do this.
The screen was blacking out.
Yeah, and you can just let it roll.
Oh.
Okay, so Stryker's quarters. Do you want to do Stryker or you want to be Vale?
Guess this guy.
Okay, so that's Stryker. So I'll be Vale. They're really not that bad. Dr. Pym says, and set the scene. Stryker is in his bathroom, naturally, and he has scars on his face due to the last battle. And so Vale's saying they're not really that bad. And Dr. Pym says with more stem cell treatments, they could heal completely.
Or not. I am a subject. If you can see the scars at all my careers over.
Come on, what about the guy with the burn to one Dancing with the Stars, who was an American hero?
You suck at this, Mary. I am not going out there.
Brandon, they're mutants. Some of them look a lot stranger than... Oh, I didn't mean it that way. And then Mattel comes in. Dude, those X-punks are talking smack already. Let's go shut them up.
On my way.
And then Vale rolls her eyes so hard and says, I would never understand guys. And so here we go. Marvel Field. This title of the issue is Crosstown Rivals. Writers Christos Gage. Pencilers Tom Grummett, who had a great run with Chris Claremont on the X-Men Forever series. Inkers are Corey Hampshire and Rick Kitchum.
Wait, I want to be Wolverine.
Okay. Colorist is Chris Saltomeyer. Cover artist is Gaispe Kamilaki and Jim Charlalapsidis. Letters VC Joe's Caramagna. Assistant editors John Morsine. Editors Bill Rosman. And Alex Alonso is editor-in-chief. Joe Quesada is chief executive officer. Dan Buckley's the publisher. And Alan Fine, executive producer. Lots of credits. And so we're on the field. Giant Man saying, attention, everyone. Welcome to the inaugural flag football game between Avengers Academy and the X-Men's Jean Grey School. And so we see everyone who's here. For the X-Men, it's Rogue, Wolverine, Gambit, and Kitty Pryde. Everyone's wearing their uniforms except for Kitty. And this comic came out in 2012, so I'm just going to call her Kitty instead of Kate. Though I might throw in some Kate as I try to mentally just get myself ready to refer to her as such. But she's wearing just like a basic pair of slacks and a
X-Men suit.
Yeah, like a yellow sweater with an X symbol on it. Dupe is there, who I like.
I like X-Men. I like Wolverine, my favorite character.
Yeah. Iceman's there too. He's with some girl touching his arm who I don't recognize. White Tiger's there. Glob Herman's there. Rockslide's there. Quentin Quire. Bling. Oh, Anoli. Warbird. But not Carol Danvers, but the Shi'ar one. Which I guess doesn't really narrow that down as Carol has Shi'ar. No. She has Kree powers. Anyways, for the Avengers, it's Tigra, Giant Man, Reptile, Lightspeed, Stryker, Hazmat, Veil, Finesse, Hawkeye, and Metal. Oh, and Jocasta and Quicksilver. I think that is all of our characters. So Giant Man... Oh, no. So then White Tiger says, you guys are going down. You're going to eat our dust and go home crying. And then Dupe says a bunch of words in Dupe language. And she's like, dude, smack talk is one thing, but that sounded obscene. And Rockslide's like, don't expect Dupe to go easy on you because you're a girl. I hear you made Dr. Doom cry once. And Giant Man's back to, before we start, let's go over the rules. This is not tackle football. When your flag is removed, you are out of play. By majority vote, powers are allowed, but not in any way that could harm opponents.
Idiot.
Unnecessary.
Unnecessary.
Roughness.
You're out on your butt.
Also, by majority vote, teachers be participating, which I still think is a terrible idea.
Because you know I won. You are a sucker. Putting me out of the quintet.
Yeah. Which happened in Avengers vs. X-Men issue 3, referee Roseman. But Wolverine, that was during the conflict. That's all over now. You don't still hold a grudge, do you?
Let's play ball. They just put.
And then Gambit and X-23 are together. And I was always envisioning doing Gambit's part because I was going to do a Gambit accent. You think you could do a Cajun accent? He's like, Laura, hang on a minute. I heard... Oof, this is a horrible Gambit impression. You want to try it?
Laura, hang on a minute. I heard about your last fight, mate.
There's more.
Such when does been not difficult mean me can't talk no more.
There's nothing to talk about, Gambit. I killed an enemy to save the lives of my friends. I would do it again. Sure.
There's a difference between that what you did as an assistant, I have to say.
An assassin.
Yeah,
yes,
assassin.
This time I was barely conscious. I recalled none of it. It was the right thing to do, and it does not disturb me. I would like to play football now. And then Finesse and Reptile see, and he's trying to show her a play by Joe Montana. And she mostly just hears his voice, and I guess at one point he tried to ask her out before, and she is dismissive of him, and he's just like, I was just trying to show you a video, and Gambit's all like, yeah, brother, you mind some advice? And Reptile's like, grow my hair long and talk like Pepe the Bew? Got it. Not what I was gonna say, Sherry, but it works pretty good for me.
Wait.
Listen, a woman says she wants space. Give her space. Let her figure out what she's got to figure out. You crowd her, you're just saying you don't respect her boundaries.
Wait.
And you look desperate, which ain't attractive. Who is this lady they keep looking at?
Wait, am I Gambit?
Well, no, I was taking over Gambit because there was a lot of dialogue here. And it ain't easy when you know what you want and she don't. But the best thing you can do is show her you're serious and that you got your own life going on. No one says you gotta play a monk in the meantime. Laissez passer. And he's like, what if she decides she's better off? Oh, I should have made you do Reptile scenes.
No, I want to.
Well, okay, well, here's Gambit again.
But, wait, this one?
No, just pick up where I left off.
But if you really care about her, make you what's best for her, mate. Even you, it be you, mate.
Okay, and he's not saying mate. Walker's just saying that to get into character.
Because you always have to say mate.
Okay, so now they're getting the first game. Finesse is the quarterback for their team. And then as soon as she says Hawkeye and Iceman throw, he shoots his arrows, he shoots ice shards, and they pretty much take everyone's flags off. So Kitty, with Lockheed hovering above her, goes, Hawkeye and Iceman are ejected. And they're like, oh, come on. And Iceman's like, for what? Excessive awesomeness? And so I'm going to take a picture of Lockheed because I like the idea of congruing Lockheed's appearances as we do the podcast. There's an ad here for some from Monogram Inc. Home for Marvel products, and they look like they got some cute like desktop things. I think I recognize these banks being in stores, but very little X-Men besides Deadpool and Wolverine bobbleheads. Oh wait, Spider-Man, Wolverine, Hulk, and Ghost Rider. Oh, I would have wanted to grab all of those guys. Okay, now here's Kate Pryde talking to Vale. And this is a pretty nice moment. And Lockheed's hanging out around Kitty. And this will be his last time we see him in the comic. And Kate's asking Vale, You're Vale, right? You just lost your powers? No offense, Miss Pryde, but I look at it as being cured. I would have ended up like a ghost in a few years. I've been stuck that way myself. Not fun. Congratulations. But why aren't you playing? Which is a fun little moment that they connect. Like, oh yeah, Kitty was losing her sense of self at one point after the mutant massacre. And Vale continues, well, I'm back to normal now, and it turns out that means more than not being a ghost. I'm not as strong or fast. I think I'm going to need glasses again. I mean, I don't want to sound ungrateful. I'm happy I won't be untouchable, but I didn't realize it meant I'll go back to being a loser I was in school. And Kate,
that's Rose.
That's Vale.
Well.
And Kate's saying, I don't know why she's still wearing her mask if she doesn't have any powers. But Kate's like, you trained to fight by Captain America. You've been to other dimensions. You saved lives. I don't know what makes you think you're a loser before, but whatever you were, you're not that anymore. Now get out there and show them what you can still do. And Vale's like, the sides are full. And so Kitty sees Quentin and Lyra. And Lyra has Quentin like by the shirt. And so she kicks both of them off. So then now there's room for Vale.
Wait, that's Quentin?
Yeah, Quentin Quire. He's a psychic.
Oh, I thought it was like from
Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yeah.
No.
Wait.
Quentin. I'm trying to think of who you're talking about though.
Kate Pryde's ex-boyfriend.
Oh, Star-Lord?
Yeah.
Peter Quill? Oh, Quill, okay. I was like, man, I'm missing the...
Quill tricked me.
Okay, now Mattel and Rockslide are talking. Hey, you want to do this?
Yeah.
You want to be Rockslide or Mattel?
Who has the more dialogue?
Okay, you just be Rockslide.
Wait, this one, I guess.
Okay, you're going to be Mattel?
Because he has more dialogue.
Okay, well, you start here.
Oh, really? Okay. Listen. Okay. Tina did that turtle-headed pig hurted you?
And Hazmat's like, he barely touched me. I'm fine, Ken. Really, really. Then Rockslide comes in. Woman problems do. Lay it on me.
We are half a day. Rockslide got to touch each other. No. Me with skin and her not attracted.
Radioactive.
So he's radioactive.
And so then they say hut again, or Anali says hut, and then Mattel goes to like tackle Rockslide, and then Rockslide lets him pretend like he ripped his hand through him. And he's like, you killed me, dude. And Mattel starts losing his mind, and Rockslide's like, I can control my body. The look on your face. Oh man, the bug eyes makes it 1,000,000 times funnier. And Mattel's just like losing it. And then Hazmat shows up. He's like, hey, monster of rock. My boyfriend's got like PTSD from killing a Nazi. You're totally scarring his psyche. I oughta... What? I'm made of stone. Radiation doesn't bother me. How about this? And then she like kicks him in the nuts. And then she just walks away. Ow, 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 ow. And Jocasta's like, warning, Hazmat, you are risking ejection.
No.
Yeah, and then Mattel shows back up.
Babe, it's cool. I'm fine, really. Don't worry about it.
I'll spend the rest of my day thinking of ways to make you suffer. And then Mattel asks him if he doesn't have any nuts. And Rockslide like, junk? No, you? And Mattel does have nuts. He's like, well, look, I don't want to act like I've walked in your shoes, but you got an awesome girl and all the parts you need whenever you're ready to go there. So if I was you, I'd quit whining about around guys who've got none of the above. Which is like, oh, on Rockslide.
Wait, so the kids.
Yeah, there's an ad here for disguise.com where you can buy Avengers outfits. Okay, and then we're back on the field. The Avengers Academy guys are trying to push Stryker to talk to Anali.
Yeah, I'm going.
Well, no, I'm just going to summarize this. And then
What?
and then Anali is like, "Oh, are you the only gay kid in class?" And he's like, "Huh? Yeah. Oh, you too?" And Anali's and apparently this is true to life, but he's like, yeah, it's cool. They mean well. Once they figure out what your type is, they might even help you meet a nice guy. And Stryker's like, I don't know what my type is. And he's worried about his scars. And Noli's like, listen, I'm green with a Popeye arm and scales. Like, I date mutants and people. You know, who's gonna change their mind about you just because you have scars? And then Stryker's like, me? He's like, well, aim higher than you. And then Anoli catches the ball, and Avengers Academy kids like turn on Stryker because he isn't that fast. Oh, here we go. And then Giant Man gets the ball, and he's like, great catch, Reptile, as he throws the football. Reptile catches it in his giant T-Rex form, going right above Rogue's head, which I find unbelievable. And poor Rogue does not get anything to do in this. Okay, here we go, Walker. So Giant Man shrinks back down and goes, you know, I don't mind adapting. I was wrong. This is a lot of fun. Oof! As Wolverine tackles him.
Now we're even.
And Giant Man has to pick himself out of the dirt. Jocasta's like, ejected. And Kate's like, both of you.
It was worth it.
And Giant Man's like, much as I like to retaliate, I'm not going to, because unlike you, I realize we have to set an example. Then Tigra jumps out of nowhere and goes, and I've got your example right here, you Monson drinking a boot saying troll.
Bring it.
And then Giant Man says, honey, can we not investigate people in front of the students? And I guess at this point, Tigra's dating Giant Man, which I find hard to believe, but good on him, I guess. And then Jocasta starts a running gag I love where she says, I will handle this, Henry. Charging taser. And Giant Man says, I'm so embarrassed. And then Wolverine says,
Wolf it.
yeah, which is fun as he just said it like a second ago. And Tigra's hair is all pruned up and Wolverine's costumes are sizzling. Hawkeye says to Iceman, at least we got ejected for being awesome, am I right? And they fist bump. Lightspeed's trying to get Quicksilver to play the game. And Quicksilver's like, it makes no sense. Where I come from, football involves a ball and feet. This sport's so common and barbaric. And Warbird says, just the air of unearned superiority I've expected from a cuckold former consort of a Kree princess. Talk about Crystal, who I guess the Inhumans have moved to the Kree planet. Yes, Warbird, you are Shi'ar, very Shi'ar. Lightspeed, do the rules permit me to strike this annoying woman? I beg you to try. And then he goes running at, charging at her. And then Jocasta's like, charging taser, which is like, oh, Jocasta. There's a 2-page ad here for the end of an era, October 2012, Captain America 19 by Ed Brubaker, Steve Epting, a legendary run. Mighty Thor, issue 22 by Matt Fraction and Barry Kinston, who I like Matt Fraction. I know his Utopia time is very decisive, but I liked it. Invisible, but I'm a big Cyclops Emma Frost shipper, so anything that put those two guys together. The Invincible Iron Man, issue 527, also by Matt Fraction and Salvador Lacora, which should have been an amazing book, right? Okay, here we go, Walker. And Giant Man says, Wolverine, we're going to have a problem going forward.
No problem. Like I said, we are even now. And you for a desert party for a noon.
Good, because I think Captain America's right about strengthening relations between the Avengers and the X-Men.
That's what is this. This is all about. It is.
Ain't it?
Ain't it? Okay, one. Change the whip. Huh? Up.
Okay, pointing this page.
Oh, now that you are seeing that you can do Winter Stewards and X-Men Stewards on the same team, Heist Pockets is with me. On this way, White P-Y-M. Pim.
Yes, absolutely. So this was your plan all along? Get teachers kicked out to foster bonding among the kids?
You said us playing was a bad idea. You were one. But I ain't that smart with you. What now my plan is it right here.
Okay, then he shouts, okay, grown-ups, it's beer o'clock, and Iceman's correct to guy, woohoo! And then Warbird's like, the rumors were false. You are no coward, but a fierce warrior. I'm impressed. And Quicksilver's like, my day is made. Your divorce is the subject of countless jokes in the Shi'ar royal court. Thank you ever so much for sharing that. May I ask you a question? No. Why did you not slay your wife for betraying you? Because I pushed her away because I was a poor husband and a worse father, which is why my daughter refuses to speak to me. Which just a couple of weeks ago I was thinking about where Luna was. What?
Can I read this?
No, I've already read that. And likely why I feel the explicable need to do here, doing a job I am ill-suited for, putting up with people who make me want to gorge my eyes out. There, are you satisfied? An admission of weakness so you can feel superior to me. Enjoy it. I'm not giving to such talk, but as you are from a sociopathic culture that I already despise for who I am and who I had the misfortune to love, I do not feel inclined to make the effort to live a lie in front of you. Urfer, a rematch? So be it. And then Warbird makes out with Quicksilver, which this will go nowhere. There's an ad here for Captain America and Iron Man in a breast cancer ad. Susan A. Coleman for the cure. For more information on breast health or breast cancer, visit komen.org or call 877-GO-CORMAN, which is just nice. We get an issue back on the field. X-23 tackles Rock Slide. He's like, we're not playing tackle. You just have to grab my flag. And because by tackling him, he also landed on top of her. And she's like, don't worry, I'll heal. And then Finesse wants to talk to X-23. It's like, Laura, I need to speak with you. Can't anyone accept that I'm fine? You're not. You are either punishing yourself or being careless. Regardless, killing Jeremy has affected you. I know it was necessary, but it feels wrong. Because you didn't do it. I did. His blood was on my claws. You were unconscious. I've been disarmed. You were nearby. You used me as a weapon? I could have saved him, stopped his bleeding, but I knew that if I did, he would have endangered us again. I regret that I was dishonest with you, but not my actions. It is my hope you understand why I killed him, that you accept the necessity of the choice I made, and that you will tell no one. Tell? I have killed everyone who has done this to me, what you did. I made a choice. It seems you have choices to make as well. And this Finesse legit just turns her back on X-23 and walks away like, if you're going to kill me, do it now. And then Kate is talking to Jocasta again. So, Jocasta, I heard you left the Academy. Philosophical differences, right? We've had a few of those in the X-Men mind. If I ask you how you worked it out? Because she's talking about the schism that created the Jean Grey School, and while Cyclops is off being more proactive. And Jocasta, and I wish I had a good robot voice. I am not sure I have. I still have significant concerns about whether Avengers Academy is helping or harming these children. Case in point, Mattel, final warning. And Mattel is fighting Glob Horman, so it's a pink guy versus red guy. However, it has become clear the outside world can harm them just as badly, perhaps worse. I am reevaluating based on new data, but there are too many unknowns. And Kate says, mine observation, they look like they're carrying a lot. They seem tired, body and soul. And we see little Ant-Man just flying about. Yes, it is that in part my fault, but also the result of what has happened here. And Giant Man, grows the man size. You're right, and I'm not sure what to do about it. Henry, forgive me, I wasn't eavesdropping, just coming to see if you wanted anything from the grill. You're right, Kitty, they seem so jaded. And Kate continues, comes with the territory. You should have seen me a year into the X-Men, 14 going on to 40. And Hank says, I want to give them a sense of hope for the future, not resignation. Then Iceman shows up and talks about how when they graduated, they went from having like school uniforms to solo uniforms, which Jocasta is quick to point out that they already have individual uniforms. And Kate says, clothes aren't the point. You should have seen the fashion disaster of my first costume. And Iceman whips out a phone to show off her roller skating outfit with leg warmers. Though the art does not show that costume. It's just like a shadow figure on the phone, which is a missed opportunity. And Kate continues, put that away. It's not about the uniforms. It's about what they symbolize. It's meant the professor recognize what you've accomplished. So Hank has an idea, but we have to buy next issue to figure out what that is. Wolverine's about to eat a burger or a sandwich, and then Ant-Man, as a joke, enlarges it, which seems like the way to cure hunger.
Ant-Man?
Right here, Giant Man.
Oh.
Hawkeye's throwing arrows, like flame arrows, to melt Iceman as he freezes the tip of Tigra's tail, and they're just all having a fun time. And then Mattel says they should make this an annual event, which they won't do. The letters page is called After School Special, which is cute. As many of you will have heard by now, the current incarnation of Avengers Academy is coming to an end next issue. Along with it, my time writing the characters. I plan to use the final text page to say goodbye and acknowledge the folks who've made this book possible. So welcome to the last Avengers Academy letters page with letters in it. Here they are. And Sherwood Grosvenor from Rhode Island wrote a letter, as did Sam Roscoe from East Yorksville, UK. A Heartbroken Keenan wrote a letter, as well as Michael J. Miller, Savannah, Illinois. And then Christoph Cage concludes, thanks to every single one of you who wrote in or just read Avengers Academy. At the time when a series featuring new characters rarely lasts 10 issues, let alone 40, you made it possible. I have a lot more to say about that next time, but until then, just thanks. I miss talking to you here, but you can always find me on Twitter at Christoph Gage. The conversation never has to stop. Next issue is in Avengers Academy as we know it, and there's a bunch of their hands as they're throwing up their caps. Inside cover or back cover ad is for HeroUp.com, which is a game it's a superhero squad game, which I tried to play as Kitty Pryde was part of it, but I think whatever tablet I was using or phone was not strong enough for it, but so I missed out. And then back cover ads for Rick Riordan's The Mark of Athena, the actual novel, not a comic adaptation. And so that, everyone, is Avengers Academy issue 38. I want to thank Walker D for joining me on this. His poor mother is a little sick, and so we were just coming downstairs to avoid, being too loud in the living room. I meant to start with this. No spoilers for Ant-Man 3, but a broccoli person shows up in it, and I completely forgot to mention that in the movie review about how they established the broccoli people, just so if they ever do Dark Phoenix, which I'm sure at one point somewhere on a Kevin Feige bulletin board says Dark Phoenix done right or something, but the broccoli people are going to die. Spoilers for Dark Phoenix saga. You want to say anything, Walker?
No.
Okay. Well, that's awkward.
Yeah, bye.
Walker D just put on his YouTube channel on Walker D World a Minecraft video. He's gone back to making those, and they're pretty fun. He's hoping to do one tomorrow where I might guest spot on as a little thank you for being on my podcast for the 4th time, maybe. So you can follow me, the blog at shadowandflamewithmagic.com. You can follow me on Twitter and YouTube at Jackal SIII. Walker and I just won a round of Fortnite, so that video just went up. I got to film an episode of the X-Men plushie series. I have it mapped out in my head, but hopefully I can do that tomorrow. And you can follow the blog on Instagram and Twitter. And on Instagram, I'm hoping to put up the Lockheed images from this comic. But you can follow the podcast at SNFWM and spelt out. And we'll see you next time for episode 25, which I gotta think of something big to do for that. All right, everyone. Well, thanks for listening, and give a like and subscribe to the podcast wherever you find your podcast needs. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.